What's going on, everyone? Steven here, back with episode 4 of my ELEX Let's Hack tutorial series. In this video, I'm going to talk about giving yourself infinite stamina. So, in some video games, you can go ahead and make some assumptions. Typically, stamina is a float value type. And in a lot of games where I see stamina, the maximum value, so when your stamina bar is full, tends to be a 1 or a 100. All right. So, you could go through the whole process of starting with an unknown initial value and do an increased, decreased, and changed and unchanged. Or sometimes you can just try starting with one of those two, a 1 and a 100, and see what you find. So, get rid of that. And let's do 100, because that's the one in the game. All right. But let's pretend we didn't know that. We're going for 100 first scan. Okay, see how there's some values already changing? I'm going to do unchanged value because our value is unchanged right now. We haven't used up any stamina. Alright, now I'm going to start running around and start doing scans for a changed value with hotkeys while I'm running. Okay? Changed, 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 changed. Alright, we'll let it fill back up. We'll go changed, and now unchanged. Alright, so one of these should be our value. Alright, it's not any of those. Alright, I'm running. Those four are changing. Now they're going back up. Alright, so it should be one of these here. And, you could try by bringing them all down, locking them, running, see what happens. Alright, see how stamina is not decreasing. Alright, so one of these is probably the graphical and one is the actual value. Alright, that one is the actual value. That's good. So now what we can do is close that. Right click here, say find out what writes to this address. Now here's this instruction that's continuously writing to the address. Alright, so let's run around and see what happens. Alright, that one instruction stops, and now we have this other instruction running. Okay, now we let it fill back up. When you swing your weapon, that decreases your stamina as well. Let's see what we get with that. Alright, so far it seems like that one instruction is what we need to perhaps NOP. So this one here, let's go show disassembler. Okay, well actually let's start with this. This one that's continually writing, show disassembler. Let's just replace that with code that does nothing. And run around. Alright, it's still decreasing. Alright, now it's not filling back up. So that's not what we want to do. Let's go restore with original code. Okay. So now let's go to this instruction, show disassembler, replace with code that does nothing. Okay. All right, let's swing our weapon, and just like we hoped to see, it doesn't decrease our stamina. Now what about running around? Let's see what happens. Everything is fine there. So that instruction is shared between these two. Alright, so that's pretty convenient. So the only thing that we have to do is, right click here, restore with original code, and we just need to NOP this instruction. So we could go Tools, Auto Assemble. It popped up in the other window here, but first I'm going to right click, copy to clipboard, bytes and opcodes. Okay. Disable, enable, paste that. Alright. Here, colon, come here. Alright, so what we can do now is, let's see, how many bytes was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can just go db. Alright, no ops there. And whenever we disable it, we want to db the original bytes, and then we can comment out what the original instruction was. All right, and so now we can say File, Assign to Current Cheat Table. Close that, close this, stop this, close. We'll call this Infinite Stamina. Enable it, and let's see what happens. All right, we're good to go. We're swinging. Everything's awesome. All right, so pretty quick and easy way there to find your stamina. And another little trick, I'm not quite sure if it's there. It might be, but typically when you have, like if you look in the bar in the upper left-hand corner, you have the red for health, the green for stamina, and I think the blue is basically like magic or mana. I haven't used that in the game yet, but a lot of times these values will be close by one another in memory. So we found stamina, so what we could do is here on this address, we could right-click and say browse this memory region. And down here is where it puts us. You could try, it probably won't look like this whenever this first pulls up, so you could right-click on the upper left-hand byte or value that you're on, hover on display type, and if you're looking for what you think is a float, you could click float, and that will show your values as a float. Now, because I know this is stamina, all right, this 100 might just be the mana there. So let me lower this to 50, and let's see what happens whenever I hit enter here. It just stayed at 100. So this might actually be like max stamina, and this is current stamina. So maybe this value is being compared to this one constantly, something like that. Or we could go add this address to the list and just put ASDF here, close that. We could say find what accesses this address. We have all these different things here. Let's find what writes to it. All right, we have this. So let's go replace here, and we'll say OK. All right. So that should have replaced with code that does nothing. Now let's try to change this value, see what happens. All right, nothing changed there. So now let's click Advanced Options, and any changes you make, you'll see them in red here. So we can right-click and say Restore with Original Code. All right, so that's not what I hoped it was going to be. I thought we might have found that mana. But anyway, that's still a good trick for you, to hop in and try to look for nearby values. That blue one is probably somewhere right around in here, but I'm not worried about it right now. So you've got infinite stamina, good to go. In the next video, I'm probably going to go over one-hit kills of enemies, and I'll see what else I might do a video on. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, give a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the other videos in my ELEX cheats playlist. All right. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.